the wait for intelligence in 2026 is going to be the year Apple finally catches up in the smart home space. And I think catches up is a very interesting word there. The main storyline is all about the waiting game. They've got the hardware ready. The biggest shift right now is Apple's transition away from its legacy HomeKit framework, which it officially sunsetted in February 26, towards an entirely new ecosystem based around Apple Intelligence. But the undisputed headliner is the heavily leaked Home Hub, which is often referred to internally as the J490 or HomePad, Apple's first true smart display that essentially manages an iPad with a HomePod. And rumours suggest it will feature roughly 7-inch screen, a powerful A18 class chip, and a brand new interface tailored specifically for smart home management. Now, I'm in the middle of sort of slowly implementing a smart home.
Yep.
What triggered this was sort of Sonos, which kind of got us into multi-room. We had to have, it was just sort of solving one problem after another. We had to have multi-room system. Our walls are built in 1760, pre-Napoleon War, and they're a metre thick. So you need hardwired access points in every room. You can't have anything like wireless mesh. So you have to just kind of absolutely max out the home with tech. And we wanted some way of embracing smart home. We started with Sonos, which Sonos was an expensive, negative experience and disaster. They rebuilt their whole engine badly. Everyone's, even on Sonos blogs, people are talking about what harikari this company has committed. So anyway, goodbye. Sonos is dead. What is the next thing? Our company is full of Apple. Our phones are Apple. However, we want those cool things on the office door, sort of that enable you to control doors, control access to rooms. It doesn't exist. What's your thought about this Home Hub?
So I've got quite a few opinions on home automation, and I feel like Apple is at the bottom. If you think about at a consumer level, Alexa's one. Everybody's got Alexa light bulbs, everybody's got Alexa switches. There's no getting away from it because they are so cheap, and Amazon has flooded the market with hardware. And so in my household, we do have Sonos, but we don't have it in a multi-room scenario. We just have our living room kitted out with Sonos speakers, and that's it. That's as far as it goes.
And the speakers are good quality.
Speakers are good quality, and they're perfectly good for what we need for watching movies and TV shows and things. Everywhere else we have Alexa. The boys have got Alexas in their bedroom for them to listen to music, alarm clocks, that kind of thing. And in the kitchen, we're just about to have a whole kitchen extension makeover renovation. And as part of that, I'm gunning for the 21-inch Alexa home screen, so that we can have a family calendar on there, we can control the door, we can see who's coming in, we can control the lights, and just have it all in one.
Which is basically a TV, right? 21 inches.
So that's what I'm gunning for the new kitchen. We've got a small Echo Show 8 or something, but I'm gunning for a slightly bigger one so we can have a bit more use out of it.
So would you
that's
agree?
my setup.
Yeah. Would you agree that Apple know that they're the bottom?
I think so. I mean,
and that they are trying to actually leapfrog, because we get told by people in Amazon that they know they're a shop, whereas actually, Apple is a pervasive owner of our information, our 3D information, where we are at any time. It should be in this space.
Yeah, it should.
What it rolled out a few years ago was pushing, again, like Google Gemini, is it pushed for an interoperability API methodology standard for devices at home called Matter and Thread.
That's the one.
And I'm starting to see a lot of things being rolled out now with Matter, Thread, and HomeKit support, and it is backwards compatible. So if something supports Matter, it does also support the deprecated HomeKit. I'm now finding high quality. They're going for quality, high quality door locks that support Matter, garage openers that support Matter. The HomePod itself, is that a good speaker? Is that a bad?
It is a good speaker, and we've got one in the office. And the biggest problem that Apple have is Siri.
Yeah. Well, that was going to be it, wasn't it? So we're in the middle of migrating over. I've made the commitment to Apple, and I know they're not there yet because I can get enough benefit out of it by starting to build that system. I've got the sort of Ubiquity server stack, which is all supporting HomeKit and Matter thread enabled. So I think there's a lot of bones in there. The hold up, wouldn't you agree, is the handling of the voice control.
Yeah, definitely. So Alexa just released Alexa Plus.
Alexa Plus, yeah.
So they are way ahead already. And I know that Apple will need to step up the game with Siri because, well, Android is going further already with Gemini. So it's just a matter of time. And they are a little bit behind. There was a lot of controversial things that happened in the past 3 years of their dev team, and then they close a contract with OpenAI, and then they pull it out, and now they are with Gemini. So Gemini will be powering the new Siri. So yeah, I wouldn't be that worried about like implementing everything with Apple now, because I reckon on September they literally need to step up the game.
Emily, worried?
I am casting my mind back 10 years to 2016 when everyone was talking about IoT, Internet of Things, before somebody clever thought, let's call them smart devices. And, it used to be enough to be able to build a really good speaker. And then you buy a speaker, you get a thermometer for your central heating system, and it just needs to do its job. But now it needs to also be really good at software continually, and the early implementations like Sonos, they fell behind on the software. So they've got great hardware, and what does that mean for the consumer is it means you have to rip the stuff out and throw it away. And for pervasive smart devices like your central heating system, your smart thermometer, every light bulb, if those providers fall behind on software like Sonos have done, then you have to rip out that investment in hardware. So you used to buy stuff and it was yours. Now you're kind of just keeping it for a while until the software falls behind and something else, and then you have to do a massive investment in hardware. So the backwards compatible bit that I heard for the new stuff that's coming out is really important, because basically these things are not so smart. They become bricks really, really easily, as anybody who's tried to actually play a song on their Sonos, like me, I just end up screaming and going, Lucian, can you make it work?
Oh, well, people have been reporting that actually Siri on the phone answers when you're actually talking to your HomePod and stuff. So this sort of mediating and which Siri you're talking to really matters, especially when you've got multiple instructors in a home environment who are talking to the HomePod. So, and Nathan, so I've bought a HomePod and another HomePod, and through the laws of triangulation, I need another one to sit under a thick wall, because it's all about thick walls. And so I just wanted a cheaper HomePod Mini. None of them in stock. Right. Everything is out of stock. Yeah. What does that mean when Apple is out of stock everywhere?
Then there's probably a refresh coming.
And they're talking about the HomePod Mini 2.
Yep.
Which is obviously, so they're going to get this Siri LLM right and then release the cheapest model to get you into the home environment with an LLM that actually works. And apparently it's a different language. Siri is a different synthetic brain inside the HomePod than it is on your phone. That's why the phone is very good at phoning someone. I don't really try and do much else with voice-activated control, but I do find it handy not having to get my glasses and have to make a phone call.
I mean, I would have probably I would have probably stayed within the Apple ecosystem and not gone to Alexa had Siri been smart enough to just play Radio 2.
Yeah. and it's
It
like,
doesn't.
I'm sorry,
Correct. And sorry, I can't do that.
I
It's
can't.
like,
Yeah,
well,
it's
why
like,
not?
can't do that.
Siri.
I can get something off Amazon for
Yeah.
£10 that can do that.
Yeah.
Why can't you do that? So it's that's a real frustration.
My commute is cycling, so like a lot of times my phone is on my pocket and I have my headphone one ear, and I say like, Siri, play Spotify, and they say I cannot do that. You have to unlock your phone. It's like, why would I unlock my phone to ask you to play Spotify? I would do myself.
Yeah, you see, when you're nearly there, you get the tech rage, don't you?
Yeah.
So I think we're up for today's fascinating topics. We're just going to end lightly on our Tech Room 101.